barges bring in watercraft directly on board the ship. On the right side of the next dock over, we have another guided missile cruiser all the way to the front of the dock. That one is the Chosin. And here at the end of the dock is the Wayne E. Myers, a Navy destroyer, just like number 100 on the other side, which is the USS Kidd. Now, Navy destroyers are also known as DDGs, and they perform primarily in a peacekeeping role undersea and surface warfare. Now, also the guided missile cruisers and the destroyers both have similar features of a helicopter pad for the SH-60, MH-60 Seahawk helicopter. They both have a large 5-inch gun in the front, and they also have the Aegis weapons system. That is an electronic weapon system that can seek, track, and destroy up to 100 enemy targets at once. On the right side of the dock, we have what's known as a dock landing ship LSD, the Harper's Ferry. Now they are also amphibious, well-decked, stern gate, helicopter pad, and a crane to load and unload expeditionary fighting vehicles. On the left side of the dock, with the dual cones on the top, is also an amphibious ship. That is a transport dock, LPD. Now that one there is my personal favorite of all. That is the USS New Orleans. I just like its name. On the right side of the dock, the very stealthy looking ship. That is the second of the Independence class littoral combat ship, LCS, the USS Coronado. Now the very first one was the USS Independence. Now these are a trimaran hull, high speed, 43 plus knots, shallow water draft, 15 feet, quad water jet propulsion system like that of an extremely large jet ski. 57 millimeter chain gun in the front, helicopter pad in the back, used for anti-mine countermeasures, anti-surface, anti-submarine warfare. Now you may be thinking, why is that ship not painted haze gray like the rest of our Navy warships? Well, the reason for that is these are built for speed. If you paint that ship, it will slow it down. Also, another reason it's not painted is that ship is built entirely of aluminum. Now the large ship with the ramp in the back, the blue and gold stripes, cranes on the front, that is what's called a roll-on, roll-off ship, the Bob Hope. It is a transport carrier, carries anything from tanks, artillery, small boats, track-wheeled vehicles, helicopters, perishables. Now that is a multi-task force ship, although it belongs to the Navy. It is United States naval ship sailed by the Military Sealift Command. A couple more of our Navy destroyers. On the right side is the USS Dewey. And the Stockdale, named after Admiral James Stockdale, highest ranking prisoner of war during the Vietnam War and a Medal of Honor recipient. Also there's the William P. Lawrence, the USS Kidd, and the USS Gridley. side of the dock, right directly across it, I'll bring a clock. You definitely want a photo of that gray Navy ship with the crane there alongside. That is the last remaining Navy frigate, FFG, in the entire Pacific Fleet. That is the USS Gary. All our other FFGs, Navy frigates, have all been decommissioned, and this one is soon to go with it, and it'll head off and become a warship for one of our allied forces. Large blue and white ship here on the right side, recently completed here at NASSCO Shipyard, being constructed right in that very spot. That is called the Isla Belle, and her sister ship also being constructed. Final stages now. Now there's one major difference in these container ships. They are brand new and they are what are called LNGs, which means they are propelled by liquefied natural gas. First time it's been done in a ship of this style. Now NASSCO also builds what's called the mobile landing platform ships. They built several of them here. Unfortunately, we can't see one. They are both out off the coast doing training exercises. Now NASSCO is also where they'll repair some of our Navy ships, and that green and blue box is how they do it. They will lower that down into the water. It's called a dry dock. Navy ship comes on board, raise it up, pump the water out, creating a dry working maintenance facility. Now the ship that's on board is one of our Navy destroyers, the USS Pinckney. Now we're going to see several of these sea tractors, the orange and tan colored boats pulling alongside. What they're doing is they're headed down here to pick up one of our Navy ships and escort them out to the coast. Either that or they just finished escorting one into the bay and they're making their way back to the home port. Shipyard here on the right side. This one's called BA&E Shipyard. It's also where they repair Navy ships. And we have number 70 guided missile cruiser, the Lake Erie. Another amphibious transport dock ship, LPD, our very own namesake, folks, number 22, the USS San Diego. And closest to the bridge, two more dock landing ships, LSDs, the Pearl Harbor and the Comstock. Now in this area, as well as NASSCO, you're going to notice that several of these ships are wrapped in white plastic. That is due to the fact that they are working with hazardous materials. They don't want that going into the bay and causing harm to our sea life. So they will secure that area, keeping all those contaminants there on board. Now also what you'll notice as we pass the Comstock, the very last ship on this side of the bridge, you're going to notice it's flying a small red and white striped flag there on the bow. Well, that flag also has a rattlesnake in the middle, and it's known as the Don't Tread on Me flag. Also what they call the Navy Jack. Now that has been required to fly on the bow of all of our Navy ships starting in 2002, and that is to show their unity in the fight against terrorism. You will also see that worn as a patch on the shoulder of our deployed service members. On the other side of the bridge is number 57, guided missile cruiser, the Lake Champlain. Now as we get ready to go under the bridge, folks, if you miss that photo opportunity of that large curve, you'll get that once again. Now if you already took that photo, then what you're going to want to do is on the right side of the boat, we're going to line up every one of these concrete columns that supports the bridge. Every one of these columns has a large gap in the middle with an arch at the top. As we go directly under the bridge, you line up that gap all the way into San Diego, looking at the arch at the top,